And welcome back to another game of the MNFL. Still in
Mayo
week 3.
Man.
It is the third game of the third week, and we have Lumberjacks going up against the Memphis Shamrocks. That'll be coming up here soon. Of course, I'm here with my good friend. Everybody knows him, you know. It is
It's
the
Mayo Man.
Ice Storm. So, I mean, just a spectacular game going down here. It's set to be what I think will be a defensive one at absolute at the absolute best. But nothing wrong with that. And we'll get you started on the game here soon. Ice, anything to say to the fans?
Babble Bat Babble by Jeffy.
Okay, we're shouting out Jeppy. Alright, here we go. Lumberjacks will start off kicking the ball to the home team, Memphis Shamrocks. Go ahead and return this one from about the 5-yard line. And will be taken down at the 26. It was a little bit of a glitchy tackle right there. But we'll see.
Flat.
We'll see Will Levis, the Mayo Man himself.
Man.
34 for 51, 372 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions through 2 games. So we'll see what happens here as Levis goes under center. Play action, looking to throw. He's got all the time in the world. He's going to run, and he'll have 2 yards on the gain. So Van Ness with the first tackle of the game, and first rush going to Will Levis. So 2nd and 8. They'll actually hand it off this time to Pollard, and Pollard will end up getting 2 as well. So only one way to find out if this is a 3 and out or not. 3rd and 6 at the 30 now. Levis moving a man in motion. Looking to throw. Fires! Caught!
Ooh.
First down to Memphis. That is Boyd on... Yeah, Tyler Boyd on the catch. And it keeps the Shamrocks drive alive as we look at this formation they're running this time. It looks like tight. More of a tight formation. And wow, what a hit. Way to hold on. Yeah, way to hold on that ball by Westbrook Akine. As we'll see a gain of 7 immediately coming out of the first down. Levis looking. Pressure. He's got it out to his receiver. It's going to be a first down.
He's throwing dots today.
Was the man there. 5 wide now for Levis. We'll see what he could do out of this situation. Throwing. It's caught. Very contested ball. And it'll be Calvin Ridley wearing the number 0. Of course, that was a new role change just a while ago. Now, Levis goes under center. Play action. Looking to throw. Goes deep. He's got it. It's going to be a first down to Tyler Boyd. First down. Shamrocks inside of the red zone. And look at this. Might have missed an opportunity, I want to say, for Ridley. But big gain nonetheless. They're inside the red zone. It was very safely played by Levis. So again, 5 wide. Levis looking to throw. Zips it. End zone. Incomplete. A kill shot to knock it out there. That would have been an insane catch if he could have held on. But oh man, he got rocked.
Where is Levis coming from today here, dude? I mean, good night. He's throwing
Levis is actually throwing pretty well. He'll get the first down right here to make it 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. So getting exactly the amount they need. Now a spread formation here for the Shamrocks. Handoff to Pollard. Pollard could get in right here, and he just short. 1 yard, the difference on second and
Um,
goal. Pollard was crawling
I
around
think
there for a little bit, but he's all
I
right.
think I'd watch out in the backfield. I think they're gonna run it.
I think so
Look at that.
too, partner.
Yep.
Pollard dives,
Oh,
touchdown, Shamrocks. And an
there we go.
immediate, well and healthy start for the Shamrocks. Not the most explosive offensive turnout I've seen on drive one, but certainly um, a comeback, I want to say, because, I mean, look, if you look at that first set of downs, okay, so you had two plays, only go for a combined total of 4 yards, and then you managed to get the ball on onto a first down for what seemed like a temporary solution, and they managed to go all the way down the length of the field and score a touchdown. Now, here's an impressive quarterback, Jordan Love, coming out now. We'll look at his stats, 33 for 40, 500 yards,
Wow.
5 touchdowns,
Oh, on
and
the
no
dot.
INT. So he's been absolutely electric for the Lumberjacks. He was a passing leader as well. So we'll see how this game goes for him. Immediate pressure, and he goes down. McCreary with the sack. A loss of 9. Jordan Love
Roger
going
McCurry.
down.
This guy is a cornerback for the love of things. My goodness, look at this. I'm gonna get you, boy. Right there, bro. And by the way,
That
guys, just to
is,
let y'all know, I will be muting off on here because I am working on highlights as we speak real time, and someone just jumped over the line.
yeah, the offense going to get called back for this one. Um, So, with that being said and done, 2nd and 24 now coming for Louisville. This does not look good. Handoff. They're going to go. Oh, wow. What a sizable gain right there. They'll get 14 out of it. And it makes it a little bit more manageable, but still pretty hard to gain. 3rd and long now for the Lumberjacks. 10 yards to go, looking to throw. He is going to overthrow his receiver. Great, great defense by Wouzier. As it'll be 4th and 10 now for the Lumberjacks. And there is the punt. A 3-and-out for the Lumberjacks. Now, again, we saw and maybe thought that the Lumberjacks were going to come out and do something similar to what Memphis did, if not better. And Memphis defense showing up, and well, we'll see what happens from here on out, but pretty good showing here early at home, as they'll go for 3 yards with Pollard. Wyatt on the tackle. It results in 2nd and 7. 2nd and 7. Levis throwing. He's got the check down, and it'll be 3rd down and 4. Now remember, first drive, they ended up in that situation. It was a huge deal. We'll see what comes of it here. Actually, it was 3rd and 6. And this pass is caught. Boyd for a first down. Shamrocks are on a move once again and hoping they can score 7 again. That would certainly be a shock to the world here in the first quarter. So they'll fake the jet and go for a handoff, and Pollard gets leveled back for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 14 at the 36. Would have been a pretty sizable gain if they'd fallen for it, I do believe. Now Levis gets it out to his tight end there. It'll be 3 yards. So 3rd and long coming up here. We saw the Lumberjacks mess up on this one. Can Levis prove that he's better than Jordan Love right here? Levis looking to throw all day. Down the field. He's got it. First down at the 15-yard line. Westbrook Akine with the catch. Not of his life, but it was a pretty impressive one. What a big play for the Shamrocks. They are on a roll today. A 1-1 team coming into this matchup seemed like they were undersized, but absolutely knocking the socks off of the Lumberjacks today as no rush there goes for no gain. So a little bit of a humbling situation right there. So still second down for the Shamrocks. They are, of course, in the red zone. And they'll try to hand it off again, not going to plan. It'll be third and long after Pollard gets smoked in the backfield. So we're going to see a little bit of time management go into this as well. Now, if they score at the end of the first quarter, I'd say that's pretty good time management. Levis gets it out, and Okurankwo is going to end up being short 3 yards. It'll be fourth down at the 9. We'll see what they decide to do. They'll go ahead and kick their field goal. See if this comes before or after first quarter, and it'll be after. All right. So a drainage of time, but certainly no time wasted getting down the field. Shamrocks might only be 7, but they're dominating on both sides. Shamrocks on top. So they'll stick with the decision to go for the field goal to kick off our second quarter. So this kick is up and good to make it 10-0. And, I mean, it's not quite over yet for the Lumberjacks. Of course, they had a disastrous first drive. And Memphis ended up coming down the field on their first drive and scoring. But hey, I mean, there's still plenty of time for both teams to either choke or completely regain a lead here, as Lumberjacks, of course, looking to do that. Not obviously on this possession, because it is a 2-possession game now with the field goal, but certainly looking to start something there. Jacobs with the run will only get him a yard. So here is 2nd and 9. Love going under center. He's going to run it. Jacobs will go for a gain of 5. And what will now be 3rd and short. 3rd and 4 to be exact, at the 37-yard line. Love tipped at the line and incomplete. Wow, back-to-back 3-and-outs. This is where I'd start worrying a little bit, you know, if the Shamrocks are able to come back from, you know, only being a 1-1 team and they're beating you like this on the road, it begins to be a question of, can this team survive until playoff time? I mean, already starting off 10 points unanswered against what was supposed to be a top 5 offense coming into this one. So here is 1st and 10. Levis throwing and nearly intercepted. Man, they needed that break. Instead, they'll only get a deflection. 2nd and 10. Oh my. 2nd and long. Levis going deep. Caught. And it's going to be a first down by a wide margin. Tyler Boyd getting down the field for the first down at the 41-yard line in enemy territory. Look at this. Great pass by Levis. And just even better availability to get open there. Of course, Westbrook Akine was on the underneath side of that. And he didn't want underneath. He was going to take that shot no matter what. And Pollard gets smoked. Goes a yard back. And that one was definitely something to worry about. And we'll have a penalty. False start going to be called on
Alright,
number
I am back
78.
here.
The Shamrocks are currently up an unanswered 10
Ooh,
points to the Lumberjacks, and they're looking to score right here. Now, they did just get backed up with the penalty. Here's a little underneath completion to Westbrook Akine. It'll get them 4 yards, and they'll be staring at 3rd and long. So Levis with an empty backfield, looking to throw. Levis down the field and nearly
oh,
intercepted. Jair Alexander, a man who in real life is actually on the
released from the
market
Packers.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that. Of course, when we go and transition from Madden 25 to Madden 26, which I imagine this season will end up being that way, we'll have to see what happens with Jair
Oh,
Alexander. Certainly going to be interesting to see that as Lumberjacks end up picking up 7 to Tucker
Tucker
Craft.
Craft.
Yep. 2nd and 3 for Love
No,
now.
you want to know something? Fun fact, real quick after this play here.
Okay, I'll be
Alright, here we go.
listening.
So,
There's Jacobs. First down.
alright, here we go. So, what's crazy is the Lumberjacks, out of all the teams that are on the highlights, the Lumberjacks has the most highlights right now. In
I know
like
they certainly
2, 3
looked like a
games.
top 5 team just coming out of what was week 2. And, now they're kind of faltering, as we can see. I mean, they're only to being able to pick up small games like that. But of course, Jordan Love is a young and developing quarterback, so you just give him time back there. I'm sure he can do something as play action will completely fool the defense. But it won't matter if they go back to the running back because there is a linebacker there to meet him on the sideline. It'll end up being 3rd and 6 at the 36. Now Love throwing over the sticks, and it's going to be a first down. Back-to-back
Oh,
first downs, and
that is
Sweat is going down.
what?
Not the first Sweat we've seen go down in this league so far. I mean, there has been quite the stir-up for, I believe it's the Monarchs, as far as that goes. As it'll be 4 yards on the gain there. We'll see Jordan Love going into a halfback draw. Very interesting formation right there.
They're
And it'll
gonna
be,
lose a yard off of that.
yeah, it'll be a loss of a yard. They'll end up having it 3rd and 7. Love to throw. Pass is caught. And it's going to be a first down for the Lumberjacks. So slowly but surely they're getting down the field. And now what I would do if I'm the Shamrocks, I keep seeing them, make these short completions. Is I would play short here. But of course, then they're able to take the top off, and you certainly do not want that, especially if they're running mesh spot. So
Yep.
1st and 10. Love gonna throw it out of the under center position, and he got smoked as soon as he caught that ball. It'll end up being 4 yards. So 2nd and 6. This is the first time they've been in enemy territory today. Now Love to Jacobs. He's got it. And oh my, just barely shoved him out of bounds. Josh Jacobs almost took that for a first down, and if not more. So that would have been a doozy, and they're going to stand up for themselves there. The Shamrocks putting an
Oh,
end.
what? Whoa,
What
what was
might be
happening with
right
Simmons in the
here.
back of
What
there?
is going
Hang
on?
on. Oh, wait, no,
You
it might
can't
not show it.
see it there, but
And
that
the
was
coach.
interesting. They're going to go ahead and kick a field goal here. I mean, it's not a terrible decision, but you got to know
It's a
that your kicker's got a
bit
leg
risky.
up and good.
Good.
So,
Brandon McManus.
Yeah,
Sneaks it on in there.
that is scary to watch. We've seen a lot of missed field goals in the early
Even from
goings
Dustin
here.
Hopkins at one point.
Yeah, of course. On the Tigers side, of course, they're triple ones right now. First team to reach triple ones in this franchise's history, which there's a lot of time to meet that as well as we progress through the season. And of course, just in general, that the Lumberjacks are
Oh!
going to get this back. It might be a pick six. 10, and he'll go to the 6. First and
Good.
goal, Lumberjacks, Eric Wilson.
Darn it, Mayo Man.
That was
Anyways,
crazy. Wow.
look at this. Hey, defensive guy.
Wrong
What
coffee
is
pot
that?
there, I guess. But
Hey, buddy.
wow. Just had to sit there pretty much for the interception, and it's a much needed break for the Lumberjacks as they'll set up things to start at the 6-yard line. We'll see Watson in motion. Handoff. And this one's going backwards. Loss of 2. Simmons, who is a powerful edge rusher to say the least. Certainly not one of the ones you want to run after or run against, but certainly an incredible edge rusher that
Oh.
he's become as Jacobs
Whoa,
will take this
referee!
inside the 5.
Whoa!
What just happened?
The referee said no, thank you. He just started floating all the way back to the locker room.
Oh, wow. A
God,
lot of
that'll
these that
have
I'm
to stay on the
missing. That's a
highlight.
touchdown for the Lumberjacks. We're going to catch that on the highlight film. Wow. Jaden Reed with his touchdown today. Look at this. Fit in
Bro,
beautifully between, well, number 87 and, of course, the defense. So an incredible pass right there by Love. And this is why I said, don't put him out quite yet. It is a
and
top
now it's all of
opponent
a
that you're
sudden
facing off
tied.
against. It is. That's the tale of 2 quarters. 10-10. Memphis, of course, started this one off with 3. The Lumberjacks have come and answered with 10 points, and now the answer going to be from the Shamrocks if they can get one out, as that is a pretty sizable gain for what he had to go through to the 31.
There's
So, Will
Will
Levis.
Levis coming back out.
Yeah, he threw his first interception right there, so they're looking to not have that happen again for sure, as Levis will get this one out to
Oh,
Boyd, and he is quickly lit up. So it seems like the Shamrocks and the Lumberjacks have switched sides almost, as Levis is going to look to throw once again. He gets it past the sticks. It's a first down. Ridley still moving. And as time stops, let's hit you with a reminder that Ice will be commentating the halftime show, so stay tuned
yep.
for that. Well, we might also have a new commentator coming up if he accepts it. That's going to be an interception for the Lumberjacks. My, oh my, Edrin Cooper this time with the
My oh my.
interception. Will Levis. Man, I don't know. I don't know what they did
Dude, he
in
had one of
this
the best first
final.
quarters
I know.
started off. And
It
that
seemed
now
like
he's
this team was
just
going to pull off the upset, and now you kind of got to wonder, well, is this going to be a close game, or what's going to happen for the Shamrocks here? That's back-to-back interceptions, and inside of a minute, we'll see what they're able to do, as they'll get it off to Jacobs. Jacobs goes to the outside and gets 6 yards on the gain. 2nd and 4 coming up. He did get out of bounds, so it's going to be 39 seconds on the clock. Love throwing. He's got the slip screen, and Jacobs reaching out for 2 yards, and a very crucial 3rd and 2 coming up for the Lumberjacks. Love going over the middle, and that one was close. A dangerous pass. Shamrocks will force the deflection, and Reed will go empty-handed. Uh-oh, they're going to go for it here. 4th and 2. Possibility for 2 turnovers here for the Shamrocks. Big pressure, intercepted. The Shamrocks get one of their own. And that might just close out the first half. Darrell Baker coming in for his first interception of the season. So,
Wow.
I mean, that was beautiful. Look at this. Beautifully tracks the ball, comes back to it like a quarterback should. High points the ball, comes down with it, and it's nothing but running from there.
That was a crazy
1st
steal
and
right
10.
there.
Now for Levis at the 27-yard line. Going to be kind of interesting to see what they can do here. They'll take a check down, and they still had all 3 timeouts, so they're going to take one right here with 20 seconds left. Five bunch right here, if you want to call it that. Here's 2nd and 5 for Levis. Throw again. Going to be more of a check down, but probably trying to get themselves in a position to where they can comfortably go for some points here. Again, an empty backfield for Levis, looking to throw. Pressure, and he's going to go down for the first time today. Memphis, still no timeout called. So they might just take this one. Yep. They'll take this one into the half. Lumberjacks with a comeback in the first half. Of course, there we go. There's the animation.
There we go.
A 10-10 ball game going into the second half. Ice Storm, take it away.
Alright, halftime report after this 10-10 game right now. All tied. Here we go. We got Steamers Blues 7-16. Aaron Rodgers with over 200 yards. Drake May with almost 200 yards and a touchdown. And Brees Hall with a touchdown down there. As you see, Huskies Elks, that game will be coming up to you soon. 1-1 Huskies versus 0-2 Elks. Meanwhile, Red Dragons, Redwoods, or not Red Dragons, Dragons, Redwoods. There you go. The game is to be determined on when. They're both 2-0. Meanwhile, look, there's a nice powered touchdown right there. Will Levis, he was throwing dimes in the first quarter. And now, ever since after the first quarter, and that's a sick Westbrook Akine pass, and we are heading out for the second half.
Thank you, Ice Storm, as we're going to resume play here. They'll take it at the 3, bring it to the 25 for a 22-yard gain. And Jordan Love, man, what a story for him in that first half. Rebounding off of what seemed to be terrible drive after terrible drive. They're now at least tied with the Shamrocks as they'll go forward for about 4. That's Landry, however you say it, on the tackle there to make it a gain of only 4. Love gets this one out to Reed. Reed's gonna whiz past for a first down. Multiple tackle attempts and certainly a forced incompletion possible there. They'll go ahead and ignore it. 1st and 10. Lumberjacks, and he'll be taken right in the backfield and just demolished right there. Big things happening here as it'll be 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line. Here we go. Looking to pass. Going down the field, it's caught! Reed with a first down to the 41. Jalen Reed, I mean, this guy has been going off, especially with Love as his quarterback. I mean, that is blown coverage right there in the most upfront way, as it'll be first down at the 41. They're back in enemy territory. The only thing I would say here is definitely try not to throw a pick, but don't do that either. That's a sack. Love has seen too much of that same thing throughout this game. I mean, when it comes down to it, they get into enemy
Handoff.
territory,
Oh.
and that is a very sizable gain. They'll get that one 16 yards down the field. Great job by Jacobs moving forward. And here is Love on 3rd and 1. 32-yard line, defense shifting. And we'll see. I mean, are they gonna call something? No. Must have been some
Oh.
confusion. We're gonna have a delay of game.
And that's probably the first delayed game we have seen ever since the other game. If you know what
There
I
was
mean.
quite a lot in that game that we're talking about. Of course, I believe. Forgive me if I'm
Yeah, I
wrong. I
think
think
it
it
was
was
the.
the Nighthawks. I want to say
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was the Nighthawks
Love's
versus
gonna
the Elk.
connect for a
Hold
first
on, I
down
will be
here to
right.
Reed. When he meant to say he'll be right back. So 1st and 10 at the 25. We'll see Love and Jacobs in the backfield. Of course, we'll see what they can do here. Handoff. Jacobs, with the help of a lineman, pushes a man off. And he almost had the first down there. Injury timeout, though, for Jacobs. And this could prove to be really bad. Coming up here, they'll go empty for him. And it'll be 2nd and inches. 15-yard line. Looking. Pass is caught. And they're going to have a first down at the 7-yard line. So 1st and goal, Lumberjacks and Jordan Love making these moves down the field that you really wouldn't expect. 1st and goal. Oh, Reed got blasted on that one. An absolute kill shot right there to make it 2nd and goal at the 7. It would have been only a short gain as Love throwing. Corner of the end zone. Touchdown. Lumberjacks. And for the first time today, the Lumberjacks hold a lead here in the second half. So that will be the first score change, first touchdown, I guess I should say, of the second half. For going towards the Lumberjacks. Pretty good scenario for them to do so. And the Lumberjacks scoring summary going to come down to 11 plays, 81 yards. About 5 minutes taken off the clock there. 5 minutes 5, of course. And the kickoff coming to the Shamrocks. Now, this team ended off the first half in what I would describe as horrific fashion. I mean, you're talking about Levis, a guy that threw multiple deep passes. You see right here, throwing interception after interception. That one to, I believe, Edgerrin Cooper. Or there was one to Edgerrin Cooper, but there was also another one. I'm struggling with names right now, but that's not the point. Get down the Levis. Handoff. Pollard. Gonna go right through the line. Very good job hitting the hole, and Pollard seems to be in some pain. I think he gets back up, though. He's all right. 7 yards. The gain on the last run. And Levis will get this one off to the flat for a first down. The 36-yard line. So the Shamrocks, of course, doing what the Shamrocks do best, and it'll be first down at the 36-yard line. They'll move Boyd in motion, and it's a little screen pass. Oh, flea flicker, but he's gonna get rocked in the backfield. No one tricked. Walker walking him down for a loss of 4. That was an interesting attempt for the Shamrocks here as they'll hand this one off, and it is going to be a horrific second half if they can't get something going here. 3rd and 17 at the 29 now. They tried the flea flicker earlier, didn't work, so we'll see if Levis has up his sleeve now. Big throw down the field, nearly intercepted.
Will
It
Levis
had been his
throwing dots to the
3rd,
defense.
I guess. I mean, we seen earlier, they tried to do a flea flicker, they got through the motions, and then Pollard just got rocked for a loss of 4, and that's really what ended this drive, I would say, as the ball at the back of the end zone, and we'll see Jaden Reed coming back out. 10 targets, 8 receptions, 77 yards, and a touchdown to go with that. Hand off to the backup running
Oh,
back now, and it'll be 6 yards. Make it 2nd and 4. Jacobs went out a little bit earlier. We don't know what happened. But we'll see what this young man can do, and he's doing a spectacular job, by the way. 1st down at the 32-yard line. And a quick throw is going to go into the dirt and incomplete right there. Great pass coverage for the Shamrocks, as it'll be 2nd down and 10. Love. What just happened?
whoa. Wait,
Frozen motion right there. Love doesn't even know what happened. That last play seemed to be a pretty glitchy one. Love just stood still.
Oh.
And while this game has been pretty glitchy, I won't lie. I didn't expect to see that one. The referee levitating.
Rock mug. The levitating Levis.
Levitating Levis. All right.
I mean, Levis is
But,
in the
hey,
building here.
look at this, though. The Lumberjacks end up falling here to what appeared to be a 3-and-out. And we'll see the Shamrocks come back with what I would imagine is some bad intentions. And speaking of bad intentions, number 59 right there absolutely rocked him on the return. So Will Levis, no touchdowns today. Of course, those could have been touchdowns if, they figured out how to stop throwing picks. And there's a handoff, and oh my goodness.
Pollard
The big hits just keep coming. Pollard has been the victim of so many of these big hits today. Of course, as a running back, that's what you've got to put yourself through. And there's a short little completion there to Tyler Boyd. Not a bad one, as it'll be a
no running back in the backfield.
Short. Nope, they're going to go 5 wide.
In the backfield, though.
Levis chucks it down the field. Does he got it? No. Deflected. And that could have ended horribly. If they let that one get by, it would have ended up being a tied ball game, to say the least. As Stonehouse will kick this one away, and off into the end zone it goes. And here is Love after what was definitely an unsuccessful drive last time. Coming back out once again. Making sure the Memphis Shamrocks can't get to him this time. Handoff. And Simmons going to be there on the backup running back. Again, certainly someone you don't want to run into when you play as a running back. I mean, dude is an absolute run stopper. And speaking of stopping things, the end of the 3rd quarter, Baker with an interception. Of course, Darrell Baker is who I'm referring to. Edgerrin Cooper with an INT. And that's what it's been today. Even though the score is pretty high, all throughout it has been a defensive showcase for the Lumberjacks here. Handoff to the backup once again. They're going to get him 3 as Dylan think, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that's A.J. Dillon, who will end up picking 3 there. 3rd and 7. And then a 5 wide set, and it's just not going to plan. Woozier getting back there for the TFL. 4th and 9 coming for Memphis. Or, I'm sorry, for Louisville and the Lumberjacks here. Is this punt going to be handled from about the 11, traveling way far downfield. And a big hit coming down. First man down there, first man to tackle him. As we'll see Levis. Man, look at that jersey. He's been through it all in this one. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Big matchup to watch up there. They're going to run it, though. And Pollard picking up a hefty first down for the Shamrocks. That's going to mean, it's a short, insignificant little first down up until, they go all the way down the field with it, which if they do that, I take full credit in predicting that, because it seems like those little runs are what you need to go down the field in this league. So 2nd and 8 at the 48-yard line. Pass is lobbed and caught. First down, Shamrocks. 1st and 10 for the Shamrocks now presents enemy territory opportunities as Pollard is met quickly in the backfield. A 5-yard loss, and McKinney on him there. Pollard has been through the rough today. Truly amazing what these running backs go through on a daily basis. Top of the screen, I want you to watch that matchup going forward. And he'll just throw this one out of bounds. So Levis getting hit as he threw. And we'll see an injury timeout. I would really hope this guy gets back in the game. Seemed to be a pretty good part of that defense, especially holding the middle of the line, throwing, and nearly intercepted, I want to say, and that's Xavier McKinney. So that'll be 4th and 15 out of what could have been field goal position if they had just made it down a little further. But this game stays 7 right now. So 1st and 10 at the 20 now after the touchback. Tried to angle it, didn't exactly go to plan. And Tucker Kraft will have what is almost a first down. We'll have a 9-yard gain there, and Kraft getting up a little sorely after that one. Here's 2nd and 1 at the 29-yard line. Fake handoff. Love is going to throw, and it's a medicine ball right there. Jerome Baker with a huge hit, and it'll be 3rd and 1 at the 29-yard line. Would be an absolute statement if they could stop him here, and it's not going to be that easy. Josh Jacobs for a first down, getting exactly what he needed. As it'll be first down, a clean slate here for the Lumberjacks. And I'd say, with how the defense has been playing, if you get them here, you've got yourself a pretty good chance of winning this game. I'm talking if they get a touchdown or a field goal here, you might have yourself the game, as the Lumberjacks will go to it, and Jerome Baker making his case to be a WWE superstar after that one. What a hit.
Well, yeah,
1st and
definitely.
10 at the 43. And again, Jerome Baker flying in there. He was held up by one of his teammates and then absolutely got shamrocked, if you will. So 2nd down now for the Lumberjacks. Here's a look to throw. Pass is caught, and he'll be right at the midfield stripe, it seemed like. They'll spot him a little bit further, so a generous little donation for the refs there. It'll be 3rd and 2. Love. Throwing. Pass is caught. He's still got room to run. Tucker Kraft down to the 31. This game could be as good as over if they score right here. I mean, that's what I've been saying this entire time. Take a look at this. Jaden Reed. What an amazing blocking opportunity he had right there. Holds the 2 defenders until Tucker Kraft gets upfield. And that
Nice
right there is just an
protected run
absolute showcase of friendship right there on this team as Jacobs reports back in. He was gone for quite a while there. He'll get the screen pass, and welcome back, Jacobs! Takes it to the 12-yard line, and that could have been a very good opening for a touchdown. He didn't have any blocks, but truly amazing there. Jacobs taking off for 7, as it'll be 2nd and 3. If they keep running down the clock like this, they're gonna end up being in a good position here to end out this game. 2nd and 3 at the 5-yard line. So deep in the red zone right here. And the Shamrocks getting to him again. It'll be 3rd and 3. 2-minute warning incoming. 17-10. And if they make it a 2-possession game here, right? Like I said, it doesn't have to be a touchdown here. It could just be a field goal. We'll see what happens, though. Pass is caught! Jacobs, welcome back! Oh, wait, hold on. No! It's Christian Watson for a touchdown. I thought I seen the number 8 right there. I must have missed the line that was missing there. You see where the perception is, though.
Yeah, that
Jacobs
might
definitely helped him out on that play, and I agree. That might seal the deal for the Lumberjacks to go 3-0 on what has been an incredible start to the season.
A 6-minute drive. Wow.
Yeah, a great time-wasting drive for the Lumberjacks, and we'll see if the Shamrocks can get anything before this ends. But like you said, partner, I think they're going to end up faltering. Just give this one back to the Lumberjacks, and that'll be it.
Call it a day.
Pretty much.
Well, Levis'
Lumberjacks
turnovers, I think, cost them too much.
And Levis looking to throw. It's just not going to happen right there. And of course.
He was going for the same. He was going for the levitating Levis play.
Yeah.
Like,
Certainly
no
has
way.
not levitated since the first half of this game. And Levis is absolutely shooking around in there.
Buried in the backfield.
Buried was an understatement there. He was more mangled, if anything. Huge crossbody throw, and it's going to be knocked out. Jair Alexander.
I think he should have scrambled out for that one.
If I find out which team he goes to, I'll give it to the most realistic version of that team. Tipped up, intercepted by Jair Alexander. Game over.
The game. Wow.
Jair Alexander. What an amazing play right there. Tipped it up and came down with it. Levis, bro. I mean, I just don't exactly know what happened here.
His career is over. His career is so over.
Jair Alexander.
For sure.
Proving that he is still a viable weapon, and so has Jordan Love. I mean, he got off to a bad start in the first quarter. Ever since then, he's bounced back, and it's been
It
actually
was when
what's kind
Levis
of
was doing
crazy
good.
is they have all 24 points unanswered to this point. So a handoff here for Jacobs, and it'll be 6 yards. Timeout taken by
And
Memphis.
Memphis is calling timeouts, thinking they can make a comeback on this one here.
Never
I
too
mean,
late, but I don't
they're too
think that's
late,
the
but I think
case
this one's late.
here,
Yeah, this
as
one's too late.
Jerome Baker getting back there. He's been a very good defensive player for the Shamrocks here today, as they'll lose a painful one at home. Love nearly throws a pick, and Baker
Should be in field
was
goal range though.
almost what would have been a
Maybe we'll try a
well-deserving.
field goal. Here we go.
Yep, here we
Brandon
go.
McManus. See,
So
can he make this one? Kick is
about
up.
47
Kick
yards out, and
is
it is good.
good.
So a pretty
Wow.
good leg on this guy, I would say.
He's
I mean,
showing off the leg.
for sure. 27 to 10.
Got that golden
27
touch.
points, like I said, just unanswered.
Yeah, it's unanswered. This game is
Ooh,
definitely over. Like, this game's
nice
kind of
little
a lost cause
juke
here
move on that return,
by
though.
Treylon Burks.
Yeah. Here is the Memphis Shamrocks resume. Levis only dots to
Dude,
the
just
defense.
throwing it
Cooper
to the defense. I don't
and
know what Tyler
the
Boyd
middle
thought he was gonna
linebacker.
do there.
I don't really know neither. All I know is Levis definitely hasn't lived up to the hype that he started at the first
Please
quarter
get rid
mark.
of him! And the crowd is screaming, "Get rid of him!" All right. And that is
And a
caught. He's still
huge
standing on
catch
his feet
down to the
to the
50. Timeout
50.
taken by Memphis. It'll be their final. And I know this game is already sealed, but it'd be kind of interesting to see if they can at least answer back. I mean, this
Yeah.
game has been going the Lumberjacks' way for far too long. You just kind of wonder if, of course, like I said, if they're going to get anything here.
Whoa.
And they're
Oh.
going to take a special timeout for their players here losing a lot in this game. I mean, as far as, Jacobs went, they went the full length pretty much without Jacobs. Now throw for the
Oh.
Shamrocks is caught. Tyler Boyd on the catch there. No huddle here for the Memphis Shamrocks. Looking to throw. Levis steps up, throws sideline, and it'll be second down. So with 9 seconds left, what do you want to do here? I mean, at this point, that's
I
what you got to
mean,
ask yourself as the OC.
you got 9
Levis
seconds left.
panics, throws it out of
The game.
bounds. 5 seconds left. 3rd and 10 at the 26-yard line. A big bunch up there. Top of your screen. Levis
Oh,
sits in the
look at
pocket,
Levis just.
throws one
Oh,
downfield. It's caught. And that will be triple zeros on the clock. And what would have been a good drive to end it ends with the Lumberjacks preventing 7. And they'll finish this one with 27 points to the Shamrocks 10. Show of good sportsmanship after the game. And, I mean, look at these throws. I mean, Westbrook Akine caught what was an absolute nuke. And then
Oh.
this defense even stepped up. So, I mean, at this point, if I'm the Shamrocks, I've got to figure out, hey, what's working? What's working on this offense? What's working on this defense? And I've got to use that to my advantage here, as we'll see the clear difference in this one. Jordan Love finishing the game with 3 touchdowns, 173 yards, 76.5 completion percentage for him on the day. Will Levis while he had no touchdowns, making it up in yards, 289, and a 63.2 completion percentage. And now we will view the player stats to see who is injured and who is not.
Oh,
Finding out here, and
Tyler Boyd
yeah,
threw the ball?
he did. That's what I was telling you, the flea flicker. But obviously
For
none
a
of these guys
negative
are
4
injured. We
yard goal.
went over this Tyler Boyd that actually got a chance to throw the ball. Didn't end so well, but it's all right. Sorry,
Wow.
switched off.
14 for 17 and a
Jacobs
touchdown.
ends up being
Ugh.
fine, and wow, what an amazing
Pollard.
run here. And oh, yeah, Pollard didn't have the best game. His attempts
Yes, at
nearly
least
caught
he,
up to his
got a
yards.
touchdown.
He did. That is a
I
very
mean,
true statement. AJ Dillon, I was right. He took over 3 attempts for 7 yards and actually ended up finishing the game better than Tony Pollard. Just he didn't have
oh
a
no.
touchdown. Marshawn Lloyd actually got in the game for a minute. 6 yards
1
on
for
his on
6.
one
Wow.
carry, averaging, of course, 6 yards a carry. Take a look at Will Levis. He actually took off with the ball, and that was on that first drive. Gain of 2. And we'll see who's good on the receiving end. Tyler Boyd, of course, the story to start that one off. 97 yards, eclipsing 100. And Nick Westbrook-Akine. Didn't think his first name was Nick. And then, obviously that last name throws off the complexity. But anyways, 97 yards as well for him. Better average, of course, because less receptions and everything like that. Josh Jacobs ends up doing a job. Calvin Ridley finishes the game with 49 yards. Okonkwo, I'm not even going to bother with his first name. 39 yards on the day. Watson, of course, you can read through that, and no one hurt on the receiving end, so we'll see blocking. What happened here? Nothing. Okay, Baker, Quay Walker, Kenny Clark, Jeffrey Simmons, all guys that did pretty good today, and uh-oh, there's the IR notice. Lucas Van Ness is the right end. He ended up getting 2 tackles today, by himself. 3 assists, 5 total. 2 TFLs, which I imagine would be the solo tackles, or at least I would hope is that. Quandre Diggs. See, keep going. And there we are. Tavondre Sweat is going to be considered inactive, I believe, for next week's game. So that is a sad sight. And Rashawn Gary, the defensive player of the week here in the MNFC, didn't end up doing so well. He's on IR. And other than that, we are good. So, thanks
Yeah.
for watching, ladies and gentlemen. A surprisingly good home or away victory for the Lumberjacks to improve themselves to 3-0. The Shamrocks with some work to do, sitting at 1-2. Still a chance, I believe, for the playoffs. Can they make a rebound? Who knows? That'll be the question come mid-season. So, we'll see you later. Thanks for watching. And of course, I mean, I ain't got much else to say. Ice, anything?
And Will Levis needs to be released, please.
Okay, sounds good. Will Levis on the hot seat. We'll see you later.